Her belly does look fit. Who knows if she's pregnant? I can't call it. Love you. All right, y'all, that's it. Goodbye. Peace.
Question for you. What do you want next? What is next for Meagan Good in life?
I want to travel. I want to direct more. I want to do more action. I want to create vehicles for little Black girls to show themselves in completely different lights and help support that and uplift that. I don't know. I want to find my right house that I'm excited about and maybe have a kid, you know? Yeah. I want to be a mom.
You do?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, is that something you've always known, or did you come to that?
I've come to that.
Was there something that happened? Was there did you see a baby, you were holding a baby and you were like, uh-oh, the feeling that people talk about is happening?
I think it's more, because even my sister tell you, when she got pregnant with my first nephew, she was like, I had to tell you something. I was like, okay, what? She's like, you can be her. We actually had this moment somewhere else, but just tell me you're pregnant. I'm going to tell you my response.
Okay, so Meg, I got to tell you something.
What?
So we're pregnant. You're going to be an auntie. I'm going to have a baby.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, you're pregnant.
Yes, I'm pregnant.
Why? Right now? Wow, sister, wait. Wow.
Did you say why, or did you...
be able to do anything? That was my response.
You did not say why.
I said right now.
Right. But we have so many
she
plans.
was like 33. But I will say, I think even that put me back a little bit, because I was like, ooh, that's a lot, you know?
Yeah.
But I think even now, I'm just super ready, because I think there was a fear that life would turn into Groundhog's Day. And I think now, honestly, in huge part to Jonathan, because I knew I wanted to be a mom before Jonathan. I knew I was about ready before Jonathan.
Yep.
But I'm ready right now, because I have so much fun with him, and because I know that it's not going to become Groundhog's Day. I know that me and him are going to be backpacking over here, and we're going to be over here producing this movie that I might be directing and he might be producing, or he might be starring, and our kids are going to be with us in Africa, wherever it is. But I just know that even if we're not moving around a lot, that the way that we move, I really, really love. And the way that we do life, I really, really love.
And that your tribe will go with you.
Yes. And,
You know
and
what I
even
mean?
if we don't go anywhere, it's just the texture of what the quality of life looks like.
Yeah.
It is wonderful.
I'm ashamed. I've never wrestled with a woman before. I mean, it's just, I've never wrestled with a woman. I aggress.
You strangled me and pushed me against the car.
Yeah, all those things are under aggress.
Yeah.
You know, that's never happened to me. So
Because I said something sarcastically, if in your eyes.
Clearly it's more than that.
Yeah.
Clearly
something inside of you.
Yeah, towards you.
It's been really wonderful. And yeah.
Did any friends advise you, he's in the middle of legal troubles, why don't you wait why don't you wait to see how everything kind of shakes out?
Yeah, every friend advised me.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, one thing I know is I can always look myself in the mirror when I trust my spirit, when I trust God, when I ask God, and when I, move to the beat of my own drum. I can always look and say, okay, I'm proud of that. No matter whatever happens, I have peace in my heart and I have harmony in my heart. And it's only when I do something based on someone else saying, well, I think you should do this. And I take everyone I love's opinion and advice into account for sure. But at the end of the day, I'm the one who has to live my life, and I'm the one who has to, get to heaven one day prayerfully and give God an account of what I did. And so I want to be responsible for the choices that I make. And I also want to live the life that I want to live. When Devon and I got married, I no longer was receiving criticism from just people in the world. I was receiving criticism from people who were Christians. It was very, it was almost kind of brutal attacks I was getting on my character, on my husband, on different things. So I wasn't ready for that. And I think the first maybe 2.5 years I was married.
It's not offensive, but I was at the grocery store, and I looked at a newsstand, and I saw you, and you had depression.
Okay. It's all right. Hey.
It's okay. It's all right.
Go ahead.
It's all right.
So I wasn't gonna come here I wasn't. But the Lord brought me here to see you. You're beautiful.
Side of a marriage that did not work the way you thought.
Yeah.
It changes everything. It's painful. You know, I just bought a piece of property, first piece of property. In the contract, Devon Franklin, an unmarried man. I might have well broken down because I never saw this moment. When we said I do, there was never a moment when we were thinking I don't. So to live in the I don't,
That's pain.
you don't know what it's like until
Meagan Good said she didn't want kids until now. And the timing couldn't be messier. Just as her ex-husband Devon Franklin was finally starting to act like he'd moved on, she drops a bombshell. Meagan might be pregnant. And not just pregnant, but allegedly with the child of Jonathan Majors, a man still wrapped in legal drama over domestic violence allegations. Devon? He's spiraling, posting cryptic messages, emotional quotes, and allegedly texting Meagan like it's 2015 again. But here's the gag. Meagan once told Devon she didn't want kids, and now she's possibly building the very life she denied him, with a man the internet still side-eyes. So is this glow-up, payback, or something much deeper? Because the streets are saying Devon wants her back, and he's not above using Jonathan's past to make it happen. Y'all, the internet is in shambles, and it's all because Meagan Good might have just soft-launched her pregnancy like it was a casual Tuesday. It started off innocent enough. Just another gym video from Meagan and Jonathan Majors doing their usual sweaty couple routine. You know, promoting wellness, love, and whatever brand they're subtly trying to push this week. But eagle-eyed fans weren't watching for the deadlifts or the planks. Oh no. They were locked in on one thing and one thing only, Meagan's belly. Because when she turned to the side and adjusted her leggings, something looked different. It wasn't a food baby. It wasn't post-workout bloat. It was giving round. It was giving glow. It was giving bump. And just when people thought maybe it was a reach, maybe the internet was doing too much as usual, Jonathan opened his mouth and confirmed everything. With the most casual tone you could imagine, he dropped the word pregnancy like it was just another rep in the workout. He didn't say it like it was breaking news. He didn't say it with a sense of ceremony. He just said it like, yeah, my girl's pregnant, anyway past the protein shake. And that was it. No big social media announcement. No People magazine exclusive. Just a blink and you'll miss it comment in a gym clip, and boom, chaos erupted. Fans caught it immediately. Within minutes, Twitter was flooded with screen grabs, slowed down clips, zoom-ins, and hot takes. Some were shocked, some were suspicious, and others were flat out confused. Was this a quiet reveal gone wrong? A strategic PR soft launch meant to test the waters? Or was it just a slip-up from Jonathan, who has never exactly been known for reading a room? Whatever it wasn't subtle. And considering Meagan's history of saying she didn't want kids during her marriage to Devon Franklin, the timing of this reveal couldn't have been more explosive. It wasn't just about the baby. It was about who she was having the baby with, and what that said to everyone still watching this post-divorce glow-up unfold. Now fans are split. Some are celebrating what looks like a new chapter for Meagan. Others are side-eyeing Jonathan's entire involvement. But everyone agrees on one thing. That bump didn't just pop up overnight, and this moment was not accidental. Whether it was an intentional soft drop or an accidental truth bomb, the message was loud and clear. Meagan Good is moving forward, and she just might be doing it with a baby on the way. Now y'all, while Meagan might be glowing up with a whole baby on the way, her ex-husband, Devon Franklin, he's going through it. And not just a little bit. We're talking full-blown emotional crisis mode. Because ever since that workout video hit the internet and Jonathan casually dropped the P word like it was just another core exercise, Devon's been spiraling, and fans are clocking every single move. The cryptic Instagram captions, the overly reflective quotes, the middle-of-the-night musings about heartbreak and letting go. It's giving everything but closure. It's giving, I told everybody I was healed, but now I'm sitting in my feelings at 2 a.m. listening to old voice notes. Insiders close to Devon say the man was blindsided. Not just caught off guard, but genuinely wounded. Like heart on the floor, chest tightening. How could she type of hurt? And the real kicker? He thought he was past it. He'd been smiling in interviews, flexing his new relationship, even dropping a few, I wish her the best, type statements that made it sound like he was good. But apparently, seeing Meagan possibly pregnant, and with a man like Jonathan Majors, no less, hit him in a spot he didn't even know was still tender. This wasn't just shock. It was grief, and it's showing up everywhere. Social media's been his quiet confessional. Devon's been posting cryptic scriptures with captions like, "God's timing, not mine," and "Some blessings hurt before they heal." One minute he's talking about divine patience. The next he's reposting breakup quotes about betrayal, growth, and missing someone who's moved on. You know the vibe. And while he hasn't said Meagan's name directly, it's not hard to read between the lines. Especially when, allegedly, he's been hitting up her phone with late-night texts, trying to reopen a door that's been closed for over a year now. According to sources, Devon's been quietly reaching out ever since the pregnancy rumors started swirling. Nothing crazy or confrontational. Just those, "Hey, just checking in" kind of messages that always come from a man realizing what he lost a little too late. One source even claimed that he told a mutual friend he still believes Meagan is the love of his life, and that this isn't how their story was supposed to end. Baby or not, Devon's clearly wrestling with some unfinished business. And while he might be smiling for the cameras, the people closest to him say he's been unraveling behind the scenes. And let's not forget, this is the same man who once thought he had forever with Meagan. He built a public platform off their perfect love story, the pastor meets Hollywood beauty fairy tale that made Christian couples swoon. But now, that fairy tale's flipped into a reality check, and it's playing out in real time. So while Meagan's baby news has the internet buzzing, Devon's going viral for a very different reason. Because no matter how healed you claim to be, nothing exposes a man's true emotions like seeing the woman who said she didn't want kids start a whole new family without you. Let's rewind for a second, because what's really gagging people isn't just the fact that Meagan Good might be pregnant. It's how she got here. Because not too long ago, this was the same woman saying she didn't want kids. That was the running theme during her marriage to Devon Franklin. No babies, no rush, and no apologies. They both said it publicly. Kids weren't on the table. Devon even wrote about it in his book, framing it as something they'd mutually agreed on. But behind the scenes, the whispers said otherwise. That Devon wanted a family and Meagan just wasn't ready. Or maybe she knew deep down it wasn't the right man, the right time, or the right life to bring a child into. And now, baby fever has entered the chat, and she's not hiding it. Ever since her divorce, Meagan's tone around motherhood has shifted completely. In one interview, she admitted that she never closed the door on kids. She just didn't feel aligned with the idea of having them back then. "I wanted to be sure it was on my terms," she said, "not just because it was expected of me." In another sit-down, she described the concept of motherhood as beautiful and powerful, but something she only wanted to embrace once she felt free enough to define it for herself. Her energy now? Peaceful, excited, centered, like a woman who's finally writing her own script. And this time, there's no co-author trying to edit her out of her own narrative. It's like she flipped a switch. Suddenly, she's talking about legacy, about planting seeds, about building a life rooted in joy, not obligation. And the timeline lines up. The glow-up started post-divorce. The baby talk followed soon after, and now she's allegedly got a bump and a man by her side. So people are asking, did Meagan always want to be a mom, but just not with Devon? Was it never about not wanting children, but not wanting them in a marriage that didn't let her be herself? Because the transformation has been dramatic, and the message feels clear. Meagan didn't change her mind. She just changed her partner. But let's not act like the internet is sold on this love story just yet. Because while Meagan is out here embracing her soft era, the man she's doing it with comes with enough baggage to shut down a TSA line. Jonathan Majors might be holding her hand now, but just months ago, he was holding headlines for all the wrong reasons. Allegations of domestic violence, viral voice memos that had social media shook, and a courtroom saga involving ex-girlfriend Grace Jabari that put his entire reputation under fire. From Marvel star to media pariah, his fall from grace was swift, public, and ugly. So when Meagan stepped into frame, smiling, supportive, camera-ready, people had questions. Was this real love? Or was she being used as a strategic reset button for a man whose public image was burning to the ground. Because let's be honest, nothing cleans up a messy narrative like a strong, respected, beloved black woman standing by your side. And Meagan isn't just anyone. She's the Hollywood sweetheart, the God-fearing girl next door, the woman who walked away from a whole marriage in pursuit of peace. To see her with him, it gave a lot of folks pause. Some fans immediately clocked it as PR. The sudden rollout of couples content, the cozy interviews, the joint gym sessions, it all felt a little too curated, especially considering the timing. Jonathan was on the brink of being blacklisted, and suddenly, here comes Meagan with the grace and poise of a woman who's always been media trained. Was she genuinely in love? Or playing cleanup crew for a man desperate to rebrand? Of course, there are those who believe in the relationship. They see chemistry. They see loyalty. They see a woman giving someone a second chance when the world won't. But even those fans admit it's complicated. Because love or not, the optics are murky. Meagan's brand has always been rooted in empowerment, and some argue that aligning herself with a man still battling public abuse allegations threatens to undo years of careful image building. She's not just dating Jonathan Majors, she's co-signing him. And in today's cancel-happy climate, that's a bold move. Still, Meagan hasn't flinched. She stood by him, spoken up for him, and now, if the bump is real, she may be carrying his child. And whether that's a sign of unshakable love or a miscalculated leap of faith, that's a chapter we're all waiting to read next. Now here's where the fairy tale starts to crack. Because while Meagan may be glowing and pregnant, sources close to the situation say she's also bleeding money. Quietly, discreetly, but consistently footing bills that shouldn't be her responsibility. We're talking dog training, luxury expenses, legal help, and yes, even Jonathan Majors' child support payments from a previous relationship. And it doesn't stop there. Multiple insiders allege that Meagan's also covering his rent, helping with his publicist fees, and keeping his lifestyle afloat while he tries to rebuild his career from the ashes of a PR disaster. The whispers are getting louder. Is Meagan being used? Is she pouring her savings, her time, her heart into a relationship that's not pouring anything back? Because let's be honest, Jonathan's star power has taken a nosedive. After Marvel cut ties, deals dried up. And with mounting legal fees and a bruised public image, the checks haven't been clearing like they used to. So guess who's holding it all together behind the scenes? Meagan. The woman who walked away from a high-profile marriage, rebranded herself, and was finally getting her own bag, now apparently playing financial caregiver to a man still trying to outrun scandal. Fans have clocked the dynamic and they're worried. Is this love, or is it emotional manipulation wrapped in romance? Some say Meagan's loyalty is admirable, but others are calling it out for what it is, a one-sided sacrifice. And the longer the relationship goes on, the more it feels like she's building someone else's empire while draining her own. Meanwhile, in the background, Devon Franklin is running his own little operation. Not publicly, not dramatically, but quietly, carefully, and allegedly out of concern. Sources say Devon has been reaching out to mutual friends, maybe even Meagan herself, with a stark warning. This is not safe. According to insiders, he's been pulling up statistics about domestic violence and pregnancy, the alarming rates of harm women face at the hands of abusive partners during or shortly after conception. And then, he connects the dots back to Jonathan. He allegedly references court documents, the viral voice memos, Grace Jabari's bruises, and even Jonathan's emotional volatility on red carpets. Devon is said to be waving red flags like it's his full-time job, presenting case studies and articles like a man trying to stage an intervention. But here's the thing. While his concern might be valid, fans aren't sure it's coming from a pure place. Is this really about Meagan's safety? Or is this just heartbreak in disguise? Because let's not forget, Devon once called Meagan his queen, his miracle, his answered prayer. And now that she's with another man, and possibly carrying his child, this concern starts to feel a little more like control. Like a last-ditch attempt to stop a train that already left the station. He may be using facts, but the motivation? It's looking personal. To really understand where Meagan's coming from, you have to rewind the tape. Back to the days when she was the preacher's wife. the first lady of faith-based Hollywood. The red carpets next to a man of God, the endless scrutiny from churchgoers, and the constant pressure to be someone she never truly was. Meagan didn't just leave a marriage, she left a role, a performance, a life that had started to erase her at the seams. The judgment was relentless. Every outfit, every photo shoot, every career choice was picked apart by a congregation that expected modesty and submission. Who could forget that infamous moment at a religious Q&A when a churchgoer publicly shamed Meagan for dressing too sexy, and Devon had to step in and defend her? Even then, the damage was done. Meagan was exhausted. She was dimming her light to keep other people comfortable. And eventually, she broke free. She didn't just walk away from Devon. She walked back to herself. And that choice? It was powerful, liberating, but also terrifying. Because the moment she reclaimed her identity, the world flipped on her. She was labeled selfish, rebellious, even straying from God. But fans now see it differently. They're finally realizing Meagan left because she had to. Not to chase fame, not to spite her ex, but to survive. Devon, on the other hand, never fully recovered. He told Red Table Talk that the divorce broke him, that the silence in the house, the loss of routine, the absence of Meagan's presence, it left him hollow. Even as he tried to move forward, he admitted that he was still struggling with the I don't after living so long in the I do. That kind of confession doesn't come easy, especially for a man who built an entire brand on love, commitment, and God-ordained purpose. And while Devon has stayed quiet on Meagan's new relationship publicly, fans say they see the sadness. They hear it in his sermons. They feel it in his interviews. The way he talks about forgiveness, waiting, divine timing, it's all steeped in a quiet grief. He's still healing, still hoping, maybe, but the chapter has turned. And Meagan? She's not flipping back. So here we are. Meagan Good, possibly pregnant, possibly in love, possibly building a future she never thought she'd get to have. A family, on her own terms, not defined by religion or reputation or anyone else's expectations. And while the internet is still divided, some cheering, some skeptical, one thing is clear. Meagan is no longer living for anyone's approval. As for Devon, he may be holding on to hope, replaying old memories, praying for a second chance. But Meagan? Meagan's gone. She's out here, writing her own story, making choices that scare people, excite her, and, above all, belong to her. And whether Jonathan is her forever or just a messy chapter in her journey, Meagan is doing what women rarely get to do in public: evolve out loud.